Hans Hendrik, Greenlandic, Suersaq, June 2, 1832 to August 11, 1889, was a Kalaallit interpreter, Arctic explorer, and the first Inuk to publish an account of his travels. He was born in the southern settlement of Fiskenæsset. Hendrik was hired by the American explorer Elisha Kincaid for the 1853-1855 Second Grinnell expedition to search for the lost Franklin expedition. He established his worth in the winter of 1854, when participating in a search for 4 of the men who were lying frozen and disabled somewhere northwest of the ship, which was beset in the ice in Rensselaer Bay. Hendrik located their sledge track, which brought the rescue party to the men. He also assisted with communication with the local Inuit, and was instrumental in hunting efforts, including tracking and finding a wounded caribou in February 1855 when the men were beginning to starve and show signs of scurvy. It was due to Hendrik's ability and effort that the important sledging journey to Cape Constitution was completed. For these efforts, Hendrik's agreed-upon salary was 2 barrels of flour and 52 pounds of salt pork. After the Grinnell expedition, Hendrik returned to Suersaq, in western Greenland, where he married. In a report submitted by Sir Francis Leopold McClintock on September 21, 1859, near the conclusion of his own expedition in search of Franklin, it was reported by the Inuk near Cape York that Hans was residing at Whale Sound. Hendrik made his second northern voyage aboard the United States under Isaac Israel Hayes' American expedition of 1860 to 1861. At the end of August 1860, Hayes touched at Cape York and picked up Hans, his wife, and child. On December 21, Hans and astronomer August Sontag began their ice journey, a journey from which Sontag did not return. Hans managed to eventually reach an Inuit settlement, saving his own life. The United States reached Upernavik on August 15, 1861, near which Hendrik and his family would remain for the next 3 years. Following that, they returned to Fiskenæsset. Hendrik's third journey on the Polaris expedition of 1871 to 1873, led by Charles Francis Hall under Captain Budington. Hans joined the voyage, along with his wife and 4 children. Hall died during the voyage of apoplexy on November 8, 1871. Hendrik was among the party left behind after Hall's death when the Polaris broke loose of the ice and failed to return. During the party's 6-month drift on a gradually shrinking ice floe, Hendrik and the Canadian Inuk managed to provide food for the entire party. They were eventually picked up by a sealer in April 1873. Following this journey, Hendrik made a trip to America, including visits to Washington, D.C. and New York, before returning home to Fiskenæsset. Hendrik's last sea voyage was under George Strong Nares in the British Arctic expedition of 1875 to 1876. Hendrik presumably joined the crew of HMS Alert at Smith Sound before proceeding to the northernmost reaches of Greenland. The expedition encountered problems with pack ice and scurvy, spending one winter locked in the ice. Hendrik's hunting and handling of dog sleds contributed both to the exploration and the survival and ultimate rescue of the most of the crew. Hendrik retired from expedition support and worked as bosun and laborer at the Greenland settlements. His Arctic journeys made him wealthy by the standards of his community,